In this 1-hour video, you'll learn how to create a custom logo animation using Illustrator and After Effects. Hello and welcome to another tutorial on my channel. This time around, as you might have already noticed, I'm doing it in English. Why? Well, I don't know. I think that I can reach a larger audience doing the tutorials in English than in Spanish, I think. So, well, we are going to see how it goes, and we'll see if we are going to eventually do them all in English, or if we are going to have a combination of English and Spanish. So I really don't know right now how this is going to be, but let's just begin. So today, what we want to achieve is something that looks like this. This is based on a logo I did a while ago, and the idea is just this. We are going to create a logo based on a few triangles, and we're going to animate the paths, and we are going to animate a bunch of letters. That's it. So let's just dive in Illustrator. Alright, so here we are in Adobe Illustrator, and we have a bunch of layers that I made for showing the animation. Well, let's just we're gonna build this structure. So we're gonna create a new document. I'm going to do it about 1500 pixels by same. So we're going to create something really big. And okay, what we are going to create first is that we are going to pick the polygon tool that is located right here. You might just get the rectangle by default. You press, you hold it, and then you select the polygon tool. And now we just click on it, and we are going to have this little window, and the radius we're going to set it to 750, and the size is going to be 3, so it's just a triangle. So we hit OK, and we are going to have this thing right here. Well, we can just crank it up. The stroke, we can crank it up to 10. We are going to remove the fill, and we are going to set the cap and the corner of the stroke to be round. So we have these little round corners here. So alright, once we have this, we are going to rename that layer. This is going to be our main triangle, and we're going to select it. Okay, we can center it using the align tool, which is here. Just make sure that the align to artboard option is ticked. So well, we are going to object, we are going to path, offset path, and what we are going to create here is just the triangle in the middle. So if we check the animation again, we are going to do this little triangle here, and then just so we follow, we are going to create the guides, the guidelines. So well, we are going to preview this, and since we're working with 750, we're going to work here with less 100 pixels, minus 100 pixels. So we're going to hit OK, and we are going to cut this, Control X, and we are going to create a new layer, and we're going to paste it here pressing Control Shift V, and this is going to be the central triangle. Central triangle. Yeah, I think it's spelled correctly. Well, once this is done, we are going to create a new one, a new layer, and we're going to pick the line segment tool. So we're going to create the lines here. One thing that I need to tell you right now that you have to check is that you go to window and you go into the transform tool, the transform window. We're gonna just show this little thing. It might show up as a separate window. So what we're going to do here, it's important for what we're doing next, because we need the lines to get aligned properly. So we are going to click here and we are going to tell it, all right, align new objects to pixel grid. No, we don't want this, because sometimes Illustrator likes to just send a line to a different position just so it fits into a pixel, but we don't need it right here. So we leave it unchecked. Okay, now we are here in layer 3, which I'm going to name guides, and we're going to drag it from the anchor. We can hold shift key, we can hold the shift key and just drag it here until it says intersect. We drag it here, we do it one more time, we find a place where it says intersect, which is right here, and the same goes for this one. So we check that it says intersect, and boom, we're done. Okay, we have the guides here, pretty good. One more thing we have to do is we are going to duplicate the central triangle. We can hold Alt key and we just drag this layer here. We're gonna call it the alpha mask. This one, and we are going to drag this little corner from here, this point, and we're gonna drag it to the middle. And then we are going to select the main triangle, and we're gonna choose the pen tool, and we're gonna add a point to the path. We are going to add it near this position here, and we're just gonna reposition it so it's in the very center. Alright, so we are going to check that everything is alright. So we are gonna press Ctrl Y, and we see that everything just aligns. So this is done. We can select them all and just click on stroke and just check again that it's round cap and round join, and okay, we're set. So why are we doing this? Well, at the end of all of this, we are going to have these lines remove when we are okay. Let's just move this one first into here. So we are gonna have this logo that we are going to rotate, and that's the very same logo that we have here. So all those lines that we did were just for this, for creating this, making it precise. So let's go back to where we were, and okay, here we have the same structure that, okay, let's not save it yet. We have the same structure that we have here. So we are going to save it. We are going to save it on the desktop, and this is going to be the, I don't know, this is going to be the I don't know, I already have an icon. So, well, okay, logo, whatever. We save it. And once we have this, we are going to move into After Effects. Okay, now that we are in After Effects, the next thing that we are going to do is, well, import the file that we just created. In this case, we have this logo.ai. So we drag it here, it's going to be imported, and we are going to double click on that layer, on that composition that just created. And well, nothing shows up. That's because the background is black and the layers are black also. So we can toggle the transparency grid here so we can see what we have here. Alright, now we're going to select all the layers. We're going to right click and we're going to select create shapes from vector layer. So we click on it, we can delete the old layers, and what it did was to just replace the old Illustrator layers, and it created a native shape layer into After Effects. So we can just delete these layers since they are not needed anymore, and here we have the same element with shape layers from After Effects. So what we are going to do next is we are going to press Ctrl R on the keyboard, and we're going to draw a few lines here so they become our guides here, so we can center things correctly. So something like this should work. As you see here, we have the anchor point move, up. We are going to find the very center of the triangle. So, well, if I can, I'm going to just drag this anchor point, and we're going to drag it into the center of the triangle. And alright, we have to do this for the main triangle and for the central triangle, which is located right here. So just be careful with this. So it's going to snap to the grid that we just created. Alright, we have that, and okay, we are done here. Well, now what we have to do is that we have to start animating the paths. So if we check the video, the original thing that we're going to animate, the first thing that we are going to animate is the main triangle. So for doing this, we are going to open this layer, and we're going to click here in add, and this effect is called trim paths. So we're going to click it, we're going to click on it, and we're going to play with this. Okay, as you may see, you will have to animate the start or the end of the animation. So since what we're looking for is to animate in that direction, then this, then that, well, we are going to start with 100% in both of them, and we're going to animate the start value from 100 to 0. So we click here, and well, we are going to move, I don't know, 1 second or so, and we are going to move, well, let's just move to 0. But if we check the animation, well, it's too fast and it doesn't look as good as this one, which is is stopping on every on every section, on every side of the triangle. So what we're going to do is that we're going to extend this to the 3rd-second mark, and since this is a triangle with the same length for each side, what we can do is that we can select here the 66.666 and here the 33.3, and we can just we have this split into 3 parts, 1, 2, and 3. Now what we usually do in this case is just press F9. So we are applying, it's the same as applying easy ease here. So if we take a look at this, it's animating and it's moving. Okay, it's making a stop on every corner, right? Well, this looks fine, and if we go check the animation, well, the animation graph is going to look like this. It's nice, it looks good, but it can look much better. So we are going to take a look at a plugin, or not a plugin, but a script from MoGraph. He's amazing doing tutorials on YouTube, and he sells this script called Motion B2, and it has a bunch of options for just applying easing and doing a bunch of other stuff. You can check it right here on his website. I'm going to link it on the description below so you can check it. It's pretty nice and it totally helps. You'll see how. Well, I have it right here, Motion B2, and what we are going to apply in this case is the easing. So it has a bunch of, this is a slider that you can just move around, and it's going to create different types of easing. So if we select all the layers and we apply like 100 here and we check, you see it's applying a more extreme easing to the animation. In this case, we're going to work with something, I think 50. We can try just right in the middle to see how it looks. Or we can just crank it up a little, maybe 70. Let's see how it looks. That's pretty nice. Okay, well, we have this. That's good. Now we have to animate the second triangle. So for this part, what we're going to do is that we're going to take the central triangle, and well, at first you might try to just scale it up so it fits, but if you notice, when you are scaling it up, the stroke is also getting thicker. So we really don't want that. We want the stroke width to stay the same. Stroke width should be the same. So for that, we are going to change not the scale, but we're going to check first if changing the transform here is going to do it's gonna make a difference, but okay, it's the same problem right here. We might try moving. No, you can't move it. So what we're going to do is that we are going to change the path. So if we click here on the stopwatch from the path and we move another second, we can click on, we can press Ctrl T and a transform tool is going to show up. We can move this, we can move the anchor point to this intersection here, and we are going to drag from the corner, pressing the Control and the Shift keys together. So we hold Control and Shift, and we are gonna place it just so it's right on top of this. Okay, so once it's done, we can see the animation. Okay, it's animating well. Now, okay, I did a mistake here. We have to invert this one. So we're going to start at full size, and we're going to move to just the final size here. Now, we are going to cut this. We are going to move the starting point of the layer here, because we don't want it to appear before that. We are also going to apply the same 70 easing. So we are going to have something like this. And once we have this, we are going to jump right into the guides. So for the guides, we're going to do basically the same. We are going to add a trim path effect, and we are going to animate the end or the start position. In this case, it is animating simultaneously, but we don't want that. We want to animate them individually, so we just change that here. And here we have it. So we're going to find the perfect combination of this. So alright, I think we are going to animate the starting point again. We're gonna press U, and we're gonna press U on this layer too, so we see where it begins. And okay, we're gonna move another second, I think, and we're going to just go from 0 to 100. Okay, it's a little too fast. Let's see something here. Well, we are going to do the same. We are going to just move. Let's just add here 33%. Let's just add here the 66%. And here we have the same we did for the main triangle, but yeah, it's too quick, so we can just move this. If we want to move this, preserving the space between each of these keyframes, we can hold the Alt key and we can move it maybe until here, to 6 seconds mark. And okay, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, well, it doesn't look bad. I think here we have some problem, because we are starting in a different position. If you see it here, well, we can fix this. All right, no, the problem is with the guides. All right, we are going to take a look at the guides later on. Why is this not working as expected? Maybe I changed the end. All right, I changed the end here the end value. So let's just check that it's at 0. So okay, it's fine, nothing to worry about. Now we have this animation, and okay, once this part is done, then we are going to animate this one, this border here. That's why we made it, that's why we add a point to the path in here. So we're going to select the okay, we're going to select the main triangle. We're going to go into the group, to the path, and we're going to click the stopwatch, and we're going to move another second, and we're going to select this this point here. We're going to move it so it's just right here or so, something like this. We're gonna add easing again, 70, and at the same time we are going to animate the guide that passes right there. So we're going to check the here this eye icon. So here it is. We are going to just select the path, and we are going to move another second. We can hold shift key so it snaps to the next keyframe, and in here we are going to just drag it down. I don't know if I'm dragging it correctly. I don't think so. Yeah, I'm dragging the whole path, and we are just going to select this dot here, this point, and we're going to move it down right here. So well, we are going to apply easing again, and if we take a look at this, well, we are animating that, and that's fine. Okay, after that is done, we want to also animate the fill, the opacity of the fill of the shape. So we are going to move into here, the main triangle again, and we are going to add a fill effect. So by default it is red. We're going to change it to black in this case. So we choose black, and we are going to add a stopwatch. To click the stopwatch for the opacity, we're gonna hit U so we see only the keyframes that we have on this layer, and we are going to animate from 0 to 100, and we're also going to apply easing. So well, there you go. Okay, now we only have left the alpha mask left, which is the one that goes right here, animates the stroke, and then the fill just deletes that part, just makes a mask on top of this. So for this, we are going to move this layer on top. We're gonna hide all the others, and yeah, let's hide them. We are going to animate it just as usual, trim paths, and then we are going to animate this. Maybe we should move it from here. So start into the another second, we animate it, and this time we are going to also add the fill property. This can be white. If we check here, we have stroke of 10 pixels. We are going to delete that. So we click into the stroke in here, stroke, and we are going to select none. So we don't have any strokes. Now we are going to animate the opacity. But this time we don't want to make a traditional animation from 0 to 100 just being animated, because we don't want to see this in the middle. We want to see the path, the stroke animating, and then we want to see, all right, yeah, I delete the path. I delete the stroke. No, we don't want that. Wait. Okay, what we are going to do is actually we're going to select the layer again, and we're going to click in stroke. We're going to select solid color, but this time around I guess we'll pick white. I'm not sure how I did it before, but let's just take a look at this. We have stroke here, and well, we can leave it there. Yeah, I guess it's not going to be pixel perfect here, but oh well. What do we do? Below previews in same group, above previews? No. I'm just guessing, I don't know. Well, let's just add this fill. Let's just not animate it, but let's just make a jump from 0 to 100. So for that, we're going to right click. We're gonna click here, toggle hold keyframe, and well, yeah, it's going to go from here, and when it finishes, it goes to white. But we have a problem here. We don't want this to be white. We actually want to mask what's below that. So we are going to click in here, this icon here, expand or collapse the transfer controls panel or pane, I don't know. And we're going to click here in mode. We're going to change it to silhouette alpha, and what it does is that it just cuts everything that's below this layer. So all of these layers are going to be affected by this alpha mask, and all we have to do was just to select the mode of the layer to silhouette alpha. So the last step here is that we are going to change the starting point of the layer. Same goes for the guides, which are going to start right here or so, and they just disappear just by here, the guides, so we can cut it by pressing Ctrl+Shift+D. And same goes for this one, and boom, here we have it. Okay, once we have this animated, all this, that's basically the logo animation. Then we have to animate this one, this text coming from behind and just moving to the right. But for that, we first have to animate the rotation of this icon here. So we are going to make some rotations, and for that we are going to create a new layer, a new null object, and well, we are going to move the anchor point from the, damn it, we are going to, let's move this so we can select it easily. We move the anchor point to the center. To center it, we are going to press and hold the Control key. As you see, it snaps into the corners and to the center. There's also another option. There is a script available in AE script. Yeah, if I pronounce it correctly. Let's just look it up. It's called Reposition anchor point, and it's also quite handy if we can find it. Here it is, the Reposition anchor point. It's name your own price, so if you find it useful, then you pay whatever you want for it. And what it helps is, well, you can just click here in the middle, click Reposition, and it's going to put it there. So, well, that's an advice if you want to take it. Okay, so we are going to center this null object. We're going to rename it to the let's call it null control. Let's save this project so we don't lose it. Let's go into desktop is fine. So it's going to be episode 3, and I think I'm going to give you these files, so if you want to just use it, it's going to be posted in the description below. Well, so let's just start animating this path. So what I did was to animate on every section and every side change. So we start right here and it animates, and when we hit here the first second, we are going to hit here the letter R. We're going to apply a keyframe for rotation, and we are going to rotate it. Oh, right, okay, rookie mistake. We have to select the layers that we want to part into the null control. So we are going to select them all, and we're going to pick this thing here, and we're going to drag it into the null control. So now when we rotate this, everything rotates with it. So we are going to make a few rotations. I really don't remember how much. Let's just try this random numbers. So 70. So we're going to move from here to here. We are also going to apply easing. Let's just go back a little bit. No, let's just move it to the 90. Oh, right, I remembered. This was 45 degrees, so it rotates still here, and then it rotates still here. So it looks like a play button or something like that. I don't know. Okay. Well, as you might notice, we are running out of space, so we can just change the composition settings and we can crank this up. I don't know, let's just go 200 maybe. No, 2000 maybe. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, kind of. At least we can see it now. And alright, so this animates here, and up until this point it's the same, so we're going to copy the same keyframe so it doesn't move at all. And now here, let's check the animation because I don't remember. So we have here, so to the left, we're going to rotate to the left. So 50 maybe, no, less, 20, yeah, looks like 20, 25, yeah, 25 or so. Also the lines aren't animated exactly the same, but I think that doesn't really matter. If you want to change it, well, you could just go here into the guides and change you could easily change in the trim paths effect. You could easily change the offset, so one line animates first. Well, we're going to check if we do it exactly the same. Let's see. Well, yes, I think I did it. Well, I applied an offset of 120 degrees. So why 120 degrees? Because, well, the full, the full range here is up to 360. So since we want to move it just one position, so it was animated the wrong line, so we just move it 120. So that's a full shift to the second line, to the second guide. So the next one will be 240 and so on. So let's just leave it at 120. Now we have this, and we have to animate. Okay, from here we are going back, and we have to speed this up because this animation doesn't take the full second. So we are just moving, pressing the shift key, so we snap to the next keyframe. And okay, we move to the left, then to the right until this is 90 or so. Yep, looks like it. No, what am I doing? Let's check this out again. Let's just okay. Now it's a lot more, so more like this. Yeah, it's similar to this. 150. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now we move to the next one, and to the next one it's already lined up. And we already knew that, okay, if we wanted to align this in Illustrator, what we had to do was just transform, hit rotate, and we were going to move it minus 75 degrees, so it matches with the logo. So here it's going to be the same, I guess. Less 75? No. Okay. Oh boy. 75 maybe. Yes, 75. So here we have this. Also, we can change the direction of this. If you take a look closely to the animation, it's animated down, then up. Okay, so it's the opposite direction. So that might be fixed just by animated not the start but the end. Or maybe, okay, we start both at 100% and then we animate the end backwards. Okay, well, yeah, it makes sense. So, right, we have it here. Boom, here we have it. And we add the easing again. And yeah, that's fine. This is good. Okay, once this is done, then we animate this one. We animate the text. So for that, we are going to use a font called Aquatico. And that font is free for, it has a free version. You can find it here on Behance. I also leave you the link in the description. So we have the free typeface for personal use and stuff like that, and the full typeface if you want to use it for commercial use. For this time, as this is just an exercise and just a proof of concept of how you animate a logo, we are going to use the free typeface, which is only for personal use. If you are planning to use it for something else in the future, well, you just should go here into the Gumroad and just pay $10. It's not too much. Okay, so here I have the free version, and we are going to let's just work with our brand. Let's just call it company, and let's just make it bigger. Well, I guess too big. Maybe 900. Yeah, something like that. And well, we could just, yeah, let's make this bigger. Maybe 5,000. Maybe it's too much. I don't know. Let's do something. Let's just press U here to hide everything, and let's just link everything to the null control. In this case, let's just link the company to the null control, and let's move it. We need it bigger, actually. 6,000. Oh my god, this is going to be huge. Okay, so well, this font, just check here in the character. I apply a little tracking change, so it was at 0. I just type in -50, and well, we are going to, yeah, this is huge. We could just change null control, just change the size. We don't need it that big anyway. So yeah, let's just leave it at 50%, and let's just take these numbers down, because this is really going to slow things down in the future. So well, we can just go here into advanced and change the anchor, where that's how we are going to resize this. So yes, this is fine. 3,800, 3,800, yeah. Okay, so we are going to resize this also, and to something much more manageable, and we're going to move this, and there we go, we have our logo. Okay, now what we want to do is animate this layer from behind. So we're going to do the same. We are going to animate it from here to here. So let's just, oh my gosh, no, let's just drag it here, and we're going to put it right here. We're going to add the easing, and there we go. We have the animation, but we want to mask this out. We could add some masking to this, but since the layer is moving, we also have to move the mask, and it's going to be a mess. So the best thing we can do is actually we can create a rectangle, a shape layer. So we are going to create it here, and we are going to use it as a mask. We are going to remove the stroke for this one. This one doesn't need a stroke. And well, we might want to edit this dot here, but since it is a rectangle, we have to go here into the contents of the shape layer, and we're going to click right click on the rectangle path, and we're going to convert it to Bezier path, and that allows us to select this dot here. So we pick the pen tool. If we select the pen tool, we can just move this. So if we hold the shift key, we can drag it here, we can move it, we can also move this one, and we can leave kind of a little gap between the two. So this is going to cover the whole logo. And what we are going to do is that the company layer is going to be, the track matte is going to be alpha matte. So that way the logo is passing below that. So we are going to move it a little more here. No, okay, let's just drag it. I don't know why. Okay, I guess it's because it's linked to the null. So that's why it moves in this direction. Well, doesn't matter. Just drag it from here and it will be fine. So, well, this animates here and then boom. Then it comes the company. And that's it. We can drag this a little bit more so it takes some more time or so. Yeah, we can just do it before that. Yeah, something like this might work. Okay, so just the final parts are going to be, well, this, move it here, and there we have our logo. Now another thing we might want to do is actually, well, we have to animate this logo, have to make it better. So let's just, okay, let's decrease the size of this again. Let's go 40. Okay, no, first, before doing that, let's just link this shape layer also to the null control, so everything resizes accordingly. Let's go with 30 and let's change the composition. Let's go with an HDTV 1080 2997, and let's go with this. Let's change the position of the null. Okay, let's just resize it a little bit, 25, it's fine. So change the position, it's almost centered. We can hide the guides as we don't need them anymore. And okay, we can animate this. So we start at the very center. So okay, we are going to add a keyframe here, another one here, and okay, we're going to start in the middle. We can activate the title and action save guide, so we can kind of take it to the center. It is pretty manual, but yeah, 960 by 140, just in the center. Same goes for here. And well, this animation is going to be from this last part. So we're going to apply the same easing things and stuff. So it's going to look like this. Well, and the logo can be a little bigger at the beginning. So we are going to add a keyframe for the scale. And let's see how it goes. We can animate this from, I don't know, 40 or something. So we have this. Yeah, we can do it more extreme like, so we can crank this up to 80 maybe. Let's just take a look at this. Yeah, I think That's fine. If you want to give it a more I don't know, extreme look, you could also get Ease and Wizz, which is another script from here. So Ease and Wizz. It's also name your own price, so you pay what you want for it, and it's really quite handy. We can try the Expo easing, which is the most extreme one. It is a little different. Yeah, it looks, I don't know. You just have to check it yourself, and you should decide. Let's not make it that big. Let's make it 20. And well, we have to just move this around, something like this. And there you go. We have the animation here. So there are a bunch of other things that I did for this animation. The first one is the stroke weight, and that's something that we're going to change. It changes, it starts really thick and it just gets, well, not thick. And okay, let's just change that. And also let's just change the orientation or the position. That's better. So, well, we're going to change the position of the null control. So, well, there's a problem when you're using the expo or any of these expressions from the Ease and Wizz, is that, well, they are expressions. So they aren't as, I don't know how to say it. When you add this expression, this is going to affect the whole set of keyframes in here. So for example, if I want to move this line a little bit to the center, let's say I want to animate it here, well, it's going to animate it with expo the whole time, even if we don't want to. So, well, you can choose if you want to use expressions with Ease and Wizz. If you don't, well, you can just cancel this by clicking this while pressing Alt key. Okay, it removes the expression, and we could just use motion, which is just changing the shapes, just the graph. Okay, so motion doesn't add any expressions whatsoever. So, well, we can move this around. Let's see how I'm going to do it. Let's copy the position right here. Let's just move this so we place it in the middle. Yeah, something like this or so. Then, well, we have to animate from here to here. So we're going to use the same, no, not 80, we were using 70 for this part. So, well, let's see. Let's just pick 70 again. Let's just choose 70 for everything. Well, except the last part. Let's just check that everything has 70. Okay. So, okay, what else? Okay, we were going to change the main triangle here we go with the stroke. Yes. So we're going to change the stroke width from, okay, this isn't aligned. Let's just do some alignments here. And the stroke width is going to start at, I don't know, 40. How does it look? Yeah, it's fine. But let's just move this. So let's add 70 again. We can span it through 2 seconds, so it starts thick and then it starts moving. And then here we go. Okay, so we have it right now. We can do something else. We can create a new composition, and this is going to be called Animation. It's going to be 1080. We're going to drag the logo here, and we are going to add a new background. So we're going to add this yellow. It's going to be in the background, and as you see, well, this is black, but we want it white. What we can do is add an effect to that, so we can go effect, color correction, and we can go to okay, let me remember. We can do it in a bunch of different ways. We can change the hue and saturation, so we just increase the lightness until it becomes white. Or okay, is this real white? Oh yes. Okay, so well, here we have it. You can also add the fill property. So generate fill. Okay, yes. You can add here generate fill, and you can change it for any color you like. So I don't know. Let's just make it pink over I don't know, another color, or bluish or so. Something like that. And just like that, we have our logo animation made entirely using shape layers and their animation options from After Effects. We also learned how to pass layers from Illustrator into After Effects. And well, that was it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you really like it and enjoy it. I know I'm not the best English speaker out there. I am still learning quite a lot, and this is just a way to test how am I doing it. So if you have any comments about the video, about the way I speak, about anything, just don't forget to leave them in the comments below. If you also have any ideas for next tutorials, don't forget to fill in the form that is in the description. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like or subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next Thursday.